With this video, I want to introduce you to graphR. graphR is a tool which can automate and simplify the analysis of RVTool exports. RVTools, named after its creator, is a VMware utility that connects to a VMware environment and collects useful information about the VMware landscape, like VM name, power state, number of CPUs, or RAM per VM, and much more. The data collection is fast and easy to perform. The output can be saved either as CSV or XLS file. In my opinion, RVTool exports are a great way to document and discuss the status quo of customers' VMware environment. Furthermore, I find RVTool exports very useful for an initial design of hyperconverged solutions. Hyperconverged infrastructure is a grouping of multiple types of technology into one single supported building block. All the hardware and software is assembled and supported by a single supplier. Compute, network and storage are abstracted in a software layer. Software-defined storage can, for example, be realized by VMware vSAN. Dell EMC has by far the most complete converged and hyperconverged portfolio. For standalone appliances, the portfolio holds VxRail and the XC series. For rack-scale solution, where the network is also designed and maintained by Dell EMC, the portfolio holds VxRack. There's no excuse not to lean into hyperconverged solutions, as they can be the basis for modern cloud stacks. Unfortunately, the manual analysis of RVTool exports can be time-consuming, error-prone and cumbersome, especially for complex environments, whereas the use of graphR is easy, fast and reliable. It's just face-meltingly awesome. So how does graphR work? graphR takes the RVTools exports as input, performs some basic calculations and generates a downloadable PDF document. At the beginning of the document you will find some tables which give a comprehensive overview of the virtual machines categorized into 3 buckets. Next you find some nice diagrams which, for example, describe the number of virtual machines for these 3 categories. Another diagram shows the distribution of vCPU counts, and finally the document is finished with cluster diagrams which, for example, show the number of VMs per host or network. The easiest way to use graphR is to go to graphR.de. However, if you want to customize graphR by adding new features, or if you want to adjust it to your corporate identity, go to GitHub and download the source code and build your custom Docker container. The code is packaged into one Docker container, hence it can run on top of all platforms which support Docker containers. Now I want to give you a glimpse on how graphR works. Click on Launch graphR, key in a report title and key in the name of the author of the report, then upload your file and click on Generate Report. graphR then performs the calculation and generates the slide deck. This can take up to 10 seconds. graphR categorizes the VM size into 3 buckets: small, medium and large. The first table shows the summarized values for each bucket. The second table summarizes the average values for each category. The next diagram shows the number of VMs for each bucket. The following diagram also considers the power states for each virtual machine for each bucket. Then the third diagram shows the distribution of vCPUs for all VMs. This diagram also exists for RAM and for provisioned storage. graphR also shows you the top 5 VMs in terms of number of vCPUs and provisioned RAM for each virtual machine. Then graphR summarizes information about hosts and the operating systems. First, you see a diagram which shows the number of virtual machines for each host. This can give you an impression if the cluster is well balanced. Then you get information on the operating systems which are in use, followed by tables which summarize information about the host, for example CPU model, physical memory of each host, number of sockets and number of assigned vCPUs. These informations are also summarized in a table where you find the number of hosts, the number of sockets and the vCPU to core ratio. This information can be important when sizing a hyperconverged solution and to distinguish the number of VMware vSphere licenses the customer currently holds. Finally, you see the cluster diagrams where the number of VM per data center, per host and per network are visualized. At the end, you can download the report and save it locally. If you want to know more about graphR or try it yourself, go to graphR.de. If you want to adjust graphR according to your needs by adding new features or by adjusting it to your corporate design, search for graphR on GitHub to find the source code or just scan this QR code. With this, I wish you happy coding.